Before we export out the displacement map that we have projected on our character's face, let's go ahead and erase some of the parts here that we have accidentally projected on the areas of the head that we don't really want on there. Okay, all these here. So to erase something in Mari, okay, what we could do is you could first select the layer where you want the paint to be erased. Okay, so right now on the porous layer, because that's what we're dealing with. And if you go to the painting mode right here, click on the drop down arrow and click on, make sure it's set to clear. Okay, so make sure that you are on paint, P for paint, and set it to clear. So while you're on there, you could go ahead and just start clearing out all the areas of the character here that you don't, areas of the paint that you don't want on your mesh. Cleaning this here and here in the neck. So just look in all areas of your character, look all around, make sure everything is good. And just to make sure that things are they supposed to be, I tend to project some things on the side of the ear, so just making sure that I clear that out just for cautionary. And also here. And looking here, it looks like I missed some pores. I didn't add, these spots here are missing pores, so I need to project back some of the pores there. Let's see at the other side. I also see here there are no pores, so it looks like there are pores on this side and all around except for here, so that's gonna look weird. So I need to make sure that I add those on there. So some spots that I missed, but that's okay. That's easy work. Go and drag the displacement map again. And oops, accidentally painted something here. All right. And just bring down the size. Shift minus to bring down the opacity and fitting in, making sure that the pores are not going to be too big when I project it. And yeah, around here I could go ahead and project. And make sure that if you're gonna paint back on the mesh, that you set the painting mode back to normal, okay? If you want to project something on there. Otherwise, you'll be erasing the paint that you have there. Yeah, I missed some here. And also around this area here. Okay, that's good. Let's see. Here, let's not forget that. Oops. Okay, and also on the other side, which is this part. Okay, so just bringing those back. Okay, that's fine. Think. And around here, I don't like the forehead, how the projection is. So now is the time to just go back and fix some of the things that you want to fix again. Just to touch up your pores. And I could bring the forehead again back here. Okay. Okay, so I think everything is all good now, and we could export out our displacement. And the way we're gonna export our displacement is through the copy channel here. So we could export out the R, the G, and the B. Okay, so we could export out each individual force that we have, the secondary, the tertiary, and the micro. So let's select the copy channel layer. Make sure that the eye icon is turned on. So I'm just going to go and click on here. And as you can see, we have this here. This is the selection that we're going to be working from when we're exporting. Let's first go to our red channel, which is going to be, as you can see, that's the secondary. Okay, and we are going to go to the channel here, and we are going to export it by right clicking on the base color channel here and go to export flatten, export current channel flatten, and then just find the folder where you want to save your file. Okay, I'm just gonna save it on my textures, displacement, and yeah, I'm gonna put on edits, and I'm just gonna create a new folder here, and I'm just gonna call it exports. Okay, and for the template here, we are going to leave the $udem, the $udem dot TIFF. Okay, if you have a non-commercial version, you're not gonna be able to save it as a TIFF template, so you could save it as a PSD template. All right, and then what you could do is you could open it in Photoshop and open the PSD in Photoshop and save it as a TIFF file. Okay, I'll just go through the process with you guys so that you know exactly what you're doing. All right, so this one I'm just gonna go ahead and call it secondary because it is our secondary pore shape. And then for our color space, we're gonna make sure that we set this to sRGB, and we're going to click on enable all patches and just wait for a bit until it exports. Okay, so the red one has been exported. Let's go ahead and export the green channel here. As you can see, it had turned into a smaller pores. And let's go to right click the base color again, export flatten, export current channel flatten. And we could just name this one tertiary, because tertiary is the green one, and save it as a PSD file, sRGB, and export all patches. And we're going to do the last one, which is going to be the blue micro details. All right, click, and let's go and export this out too. and just name it micro sRGB and export all patches. Once everything is exported out, let's open Photoshop and open up all the PSD files. Okay, so I saved it here in the exports folder. And we're gonna save those as a TIFF file, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna be using these as alphas when we get inside ZBrush, okay? Yeah, we can work better with TIFF files when we are using ZBrush. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to File, Save As. And I'm just gonna create a new folder and gonna call it TIFF. So that's where all my TIFF files gonna be. And we could save it as TIFF here and save. And just for the image compression, none, and press OK. So a TIFF file is a very nice quality, high quality file, and it's lossless. And that's a type of file that is predominantly also used in the industry. And we could do the territory. So just save each file as a TIFF. And last one is the micro. Yep. And it's saving. There you go. Okay. And in the next video, we are going to be working on ZBrush, and we are going to add the displacement maps onto our character so we could start to see the pores on our sculpt.